-3 degrees Celsius.
What is that?
The freezing point for blood.
Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring MK11 Sub-Zero. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been uploaded because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let's put MK11 Sub-Zero to the test. The stats of MK11 Sub-Zero guys are very similar to the ones of MK11 Scorpion, so let's take a look at them. His attack is 67,379, which is the 4th highest in MK Mobile. The hit points, they're 123,648, the 7th highest in the game. The toughness is 56,700, which is the 2nd highest in MK Mobile, and the recovery is 58,590, again the 2nd highest in the game. That's really good. And the power generation is 130%, so for his stats MK11 Sub-Zero gets the well-deserved 26.5 out of 28 possible points. Really amazing stats. Icicle Burst, this is the name of MK11 Sub-Zero Special 1, and this is the only Sub-Zero Special 1 which doesn't have freeze, or at least to the best of my knowledge. Anyways, what you need to know about the abilities: first, that it is completely blockable. It has bleed as debuff. It can be cast from distance, however the first mini attack will miss, and that's unfortunate because it deals around 40% of the total damage of the ability. Special 1 Sub-Zero is lethal. It consists of 6 mini attacks and it has the multi-tap circle as mini-game, which is the easiest mini-game in MK Mobile in my opinion. When it comes to the damage, the minimum damage of the special attack is 22,234, the 7th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 33,352, which is the 32nd highest in the game. So really not great maximum damage of the special attack. Once again, let's repeat the properties of the ability. It can be blocked by the opponent, it has bleed as debuff, it can be cast from distance, however the first mini attack will miss, which is the heaviest mini attack unfortunately. The ability is lethal, it consists of 6 mini attacks and it has the multi-tap circle as minigame, so for his special one MK11 Sub-Zero gets 8.9 out of 13 possible points. Now, quite honestly, I really love Special 2 of Sub-Zero. It is called Breaking the Ice and it's one of the best looking special attacks in MK Mobile. What you need to know about this ability is first that it is completely unblockable, it has power drain as debuff, and if you manage to score 90 or more than 90% on the minigame, you will add stun to the power drain, so it's really amazing. It has 2 of the best debuffs in the game. Another thing, the ability will miss at mid-range, however it will connect at short range, so we'll be giving some points there. It consists of 3 mini hits and it has the 2 single tap circles as minigame. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 57,811, which is the 2nd highest in MK Mobile. The maximum damage is 94,498, which is the 13th highest in the game. Once again, the minimum damage is better than the maximum when it comes to ranking, of course. And now let's check again the properties of the ability. It is completely unblockable, it has power drain plus eventual stun as debuffs, it can be cast from distance, however only at short range, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits and it has the 2 single tap circles as minigame. So for his special 2, MK11 Sub-Zero gets the whooping 17.2 out of 19 possible points. Ask the Question, this is the name of the fatal blow of MK11 Sub-Zero, and like all the other fatal blows in MK Mobile, it looks amazing. What you need to know about the ability is first that it can be cast from distance without issue, and second, it has frostbite as debuff, which is pretty awesome because you're not going to apply it only to the active enemy character but to the entire enemy team as well. When it comes to damage, the damage of the fatal blow is 140,079, which is the 4th highest in MK Mobile. Once again, the ability has frostbite as debuff and it can be cast from distance. So for his fatal blow, MK11 Sub-Zero gets 3.9 out of 4 possible points. and the total amount of points he gets for his special attack adds up to 30.1 out of 36 possible. Now, the basic attacks of MK11 Sub-Zero guys are pretty cool, but they're simply not as good as the other MK11 characters. Now granted, when it comes to the pure speed of his basic attacks, he performs really good. However, the chaining of the basic attacks is his real problem. If the opponent is not blocking, you'll have zero issues chaining your basic attack combinations. However, in case he is blocking, then Sub-Zero doesn't perform really good. He never pushes the opponent back, and on top of that he doesn't even push himself back from the enemy, and all of this of course leaves him vulnerable for counterattack, and that's really a problem. So the options are two: you have to either rely heavily on his special 2 because it's unblockable, or you have to give him a block breaker equipment. Apart from that, I would say that he has pretty nice basic attacks, once again not as good as the other MK11 characters, but still pretty impressive. So I decided to give him 4 points for speed and 3.5 for chaining, for the total of 7.5 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. The passive of MK11 Sub-Zero guys is called Power Vortex. Basically it's divided in two parts. The first part is that any opponent fighting against MK11 Sub-Zero for 8 seconds get frostbite, and when performing combo enders against frostbitten opponents, MK11 Sub-Zero has a 50% chance of freezing them. The second part of his passive is that MK11 Sub-Zero saves each MK11 teammate once by replacing him or her with an ice clone, and the ice clone explodes, dealing high damage and causing bleed. Now, where do we begin here? First of all, I had very hard time deciding how many points to give for this passive, guys. But don't get me wrong, I just wasn't sure whether I should give it 19, 19.5 or 20 points, because let's face it guys, this passive is really useful, one of the best passives in the game without any doubts. However, the only issue I have with this passive is that it kind of combines the best of already existing passive, and it doesn't feel that unique. So let's start with the first part of it. And the first part of it kind of feels like Vampirous Melina. However, we have to grant it here that Ravenous Melina makes the opponent bleed for 10 seconds, while MK11 Sub-Zero makes the opponent frostbitten in 8 seconds, which is great. But after all, he's a diamond card and Vampirous Melina is a gold character. And of course, the 50% chance of freezing the opponent who already has frostbite is very cool. However, quite honestly, I'd rather have freeze on my special one, because I can guarantee the freeze, but now I can't. So the best part of the first part of his passive is that he actually makes the opponent frostbitten if they're facing him for at least 8 seconds. That's much better than having a chance to freeze him on a combo ender. And the second part of his passive, guys, this is the bread and butter of the character. It basically kind of works like Warlock Quan Chi's passive. However, it can be applied to all MK11 characters, while Warlock Quan Chi can resurrect only one. And of course, we have to note here that MK11 Sub-Zero doesn't resurrect friendly characters, he just saves them by creating a nice clone which explodes, dealing damage to the opposing character, and of course applies bleed to him, which is really amazing. We have to admit that the second part of MK11 Sub-Zero passive is incredibly useful. So after some time spent, I decided to give 20 points for MK11 Sub-Zero passive. It is really a great passive. Once again, the only issues I have with it is that first, it feels like improved version of other passives already existing in the game, and second, it can be applied only to MK11 characters. Of course, I'm talking about the second part of his passive. However, despite this, I have to admit that it is an incredible passive, and the word that describes it best is safe. You really feel safe if you have MK11 Sub-Zero in your team. So once again, 20 out of 20 for his passive. MK11 Sub-Zero is just a martial artist, so he gets 1 point for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Okay guys, what do you think? Is MK11 Sub-Zero a good character? Let's check again what he did so far in this review. He has amazing stats, one of the best stats in the game. Incredibly useful special attack, with his special 2 being unblockable, and with 2 of the best debuffs in the game. On top of that, his passive is incredible, once again one of the best in the game, and his basic attacks are very good, not as good as the other MK11 characters, but still very nice. However, I just have one issue with MK11 Sub-Zero. It is not an issue, but it just explains why I won't give him the full amount of points. And the reason is that I really prefer MK11 Scorpion when it comes to soloing the entire enemy team. I'm not saying that MK11 Sub-Zero cannot do that. Yes, he can. I've done it multiple times. However, MK11 Scorpion, he just feels funnier than MK11 Sub-Zero, and definitely he's the faster character. And when I say faster, I don't mean basic attacks, but I mean the time he needs so that he can wipe out the entire enemy team. So this leaves MK11 Sub-Zero mainly as a support, and really I don't find support characters that fun, and this is the reason why I'll be giving only 2 out of my 3 subjective points. Probably some of you won't agree, probably you'll say that it doesn't matter whether he's a support or a soloer, he's still great, and I agree. However, I still prefer the other characters more, and I still want him in my team, but most of the cases I won't even play with him. I just leave him there so that I can feel safe and kill them all with Scorpion. So, the surprise here, guys, is with my 2 subjective points. MK11 Sub-Zero scored 87.1, which is the new record. No other character has scored more than 87 points so far. The previous record was held by Injustice to Raiden, who scored 86.1. So we have a new champion. I didn't expect that, guys. I thought that MK11 Sub-Zero will score about high 70s and low 80s, but this really shocked me. 87 points for MK11 Sub-Zero, which definitely means that he's an amazing character. And by the way, only 3 points more and he would score over 90. I don't know how should I label a character who scored over 90. Probably he'll be a perfect character. No other suitable label. Perfect. However, he came short 3 points, so we can label him as an amazing character. Once again, MK11 Sub-Zero, our new champion, scored 87.1, and we label him as an amazing character. Okay guys, we got to the gameplay. Please guys, never put MK11 Sub-Zero as the opener of your team. He is literally the worst opener in the game. It is very self-explanatory, but yet I'm going to explain to you why, because if he dies, then you're going to lose the point of his passive that he can save other characters. So he needs to be either on spot 2 or spot 3, doesn't matter, but never on spot 1. When it comes to characters which MK11 Sub-Zero counters, some names come to mind, such as for example Catwoman Kitana, Elder God Kenshi, Shaolin Fist Kung Lao. Reason being is that every time when they try to kill an opponent, they will succeed. However, MK11 Sub-Zero will intervene, will save the opponent, and their passives won't be able to produce the desired effect. When it comes to the difficult opponents, again we have some names on the list. Shao Kahn, because he can kill any of his teammates once they're below 40% HP, and MK11 Sub-Zero cannot save them. Also, very hard matchups for him: Assassin Jade, Erlitus Jason, because they can evade his special attacks, and Jade actually can evade his combo enders as well. Another 2 difficult matchups: Classic Liu Kang and Dark Raiden, because you don't want to power drain them and you don't want to make them bleed. When it comes to the items, guys, I always equip him with Booty Tomahawk as weapon, Earth Elemental Face Mask, Soul Medallion, and Ice Daggers. Reason being is that I want to spam his special 2 as many times as possible. His special 2 is really awesome. However, if you don't feel confident playing MK11 Sub-Zero without Block Breaker, I would put Sentu Blade instead of Bloody Tomahawk. And finally guys, we got to the teams. Well, I'm sorry, but there aren't a lot of teams that you can build around MK11 Sub-Zero, of course apart from the MK11 team. And when it comes to the best MK11 team with Sub-Zero, I would say that the best one is Cabal, MK11 Jade and MK11 Sub-Zero. This team literally feels amazing because in this team, Jade will be the total boss. You kill her once, MK11 Sub-Zero saves her. You kill her twice, she gets Revenant. You kill her third time and then you eat the fatal blow of Cabal. So it's really horrible team for the opponent. And if you wanna use MK11 Sub-Zero in other teams and you don't want to put him in an MK11 team, then really there aren't a lot of good teams over there. I can propose a troll team. For example, you can use him in a team with Vampir's Melina, so that if you stay long with Sub-Zero you get Frostbitten, if you stay long with Vampir's Melina you get Bleed. I believe you got the idea of this team. But apart from that, I cannot think of any other viable teams with MK11 Sub-Zero. Of course, you can always put him in a 3 Sub-Zero team, just for fun, but definitely this is not a viable team. Okay guys, MK11 Sub-Zero, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? He is our new champion and we labeled him as an amazing character. As usual guys, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen, and if you want to know which is the next on-demand review, you can find the list in the description of this video. See you in the next one guys. Take care.
You call that combat? Perfect!